everyone, I'm going to show you how to do a, I guess what would be sort of a standard hip carry in the Xoxo BuckleWrap. If you've not seen the Xoxo BuckleWrap yet, it's a really cool carrier that's out on the market. It's got a non-structured, non-padded waistband with a buckle that you just buckle together around your waist. And then it has these two wrap panels that will come off of the waistband and come up and around the baby's body. So it makes it a really unique and fairly diverse carrier that's out on the market today. So I will show you how to do a standard hip carry. And in order to do so, the first thing I'm going to do is flip my waistband on the inside, so on the innermost part of the wrap itself. And I'm just going to position that. If you're doing a non-supported sitter that needs a little bit of help sitting and you're just sort of transitioning over to hip carries, then you're going to panel a little bit more kind of off-center on your body, which is a great nursing carry if you're getting to that point. But if you have a baby that is sitting unsupported or toddler that's got, a baby with good head trunk control, then you can put them in a true hip carry. So in order to do so, I'm just going to take the two panels of my wrap and situate them on the point of my body that I want the baby to be sitting. So for right now, I'm going to put it in a true hip carry over to the side. And the other thing I want to do is make sure that we are snugging up the waistband where we want it to be. So I like to hold with one hand and pull the buckle out with the other hand, just to make it nice and snug, because if it's not sort of snug against your body, you're going to find that it starts to kind of pull and can make it a little bit more uncomfortable. So the other good point, you can see I've got this a little bit higher onto my body. Because it is an unstructured waistband, you have that flexibility of putting it wherever onto your torso that you're the most comfortable. So if you want to have it a little bit lower down, more on your hips, it's perfectly fine to sit there. If you want it a little bit higher up, I like to have it in my natural waist, where my waist kind of naturally curves in. That's usually where I tend to have it sitting. So you have that flexibility of moving it wherever you want it to be. So now that I have that done, I'm going to take my inner panel and I'm going to grab that top sort of rail that's coming out and just flip it underneath my arm to come up and over my other shoulder, and then it is going to be going across my back and over that opposite shoulder. I'm going to take it then and just kind of tuck it between my legs a little bit loosely, because I'm going to want a little bit of room to get my baby into this pass right here. And to get my baby into the pass, what I like to do is take this hand and feed it in through, and then as I put baby in, I'm going to feed them down through that position right there. So I'm going to grab baby, put them up on your opposite shoulder, and once again feed your hand through, and then just slowly guide baby down into that cross pass that you made right here. So I've got that foot coming out on the other side. I'm going to take the top rail, spread it up to baby shoulders. Definitely, like, you want it to be up to baby shoulders, but if you can get it a little bit higher up to start off, and if they wiggle their arms out, that's perfectly fine. And then with my bottom rail, I'm going to make sure that it's coming from one knee all the way across the back and up over the other knee. So once I have that, I'm going to work out some of my slack, and I'm going to tighten it up and work out the slack first by just gathering it all, the whole wrap up in my hand and pulling up. So just sort of up and out, which is going to, as you can tell, pull the baby much tighter and closer to my body and kind of work out that slack right there. If you still find that you have a little bit of slack, you can do a little bit of strand by strand tightening, which is just pulling one side, sort of shimmying it out, pulling the other and shimmying it out, and just kind of gathering it up. And you don't have to be a really proficient wrapper to use the Xoxo either, which is a really good perk of the carrier. So if you're not really great at working out all of its slack, it's not usually a really huge deal, because you've already got that buckle that's keeping the baby in place. So I'm going to take this piece. Well, first I'm going to take my other side and just pass it over here, so that way it's out of my way and it's underneath my piece that I was just working with. And just kind of keep working out my slack for a second and situating that, so that way I can put this piece in between my legs for a minute, just to kind of keep it tight. So I am going to then pull that first panel, or that second panel now, sorry, up and over baby's back as well. and work out some of that slack. And because I've got baby nice and secured now, I don't have to really worry about keeping a hand directly onto baby while I'm working this out. So I'm just gonna work out my slack and tighten it up. And I'm going to kind of gather both up together for a second just to kind of make sure that I've got everything situated where I want to. Okay, so from here, I'm going to tuck that rail back underneath my leg for a moment, and I'm going to take this piece, pass it up over my shoulder as well, and then reach around with the other hand and find my hopefully top rail. Oh, there we go, there's my top rail. It's nice to be able to find the top rail because if I had grabbed the bottom rail, then the wrong side of the carrier would be showing. So I know which side of my rail that I grabbed, which is nice. All right, so I passed it up over my shoulder, and again, I'm just gonna kind of work out a little bit of that slack. To do it on this side, you're gonna pull out, down, and away from your body. So from here, we're actually pretty much done with the carry. You can just go through and tie a double knot right here and slide it down underneath baby's bottom. If you have enough tail and you want to come back around and just do a crisscross and then tie off behind your back, then you're welcome to do that as well, just depending on how much tail that you end up having left over. So I don't like having this all bunched up on my neck, so in order to move that, I am just going to take this pass and snug it up down over my other shoulder. As you can see, it's a fairly decent nursing position, and this is a hip carry in the XOXO buckle wrap. And there you have it.